We've got the latest unemployment rate. Let's bring in Business Editor Ross Greenwood. What's the number, Ross?
Yeah, number 4.1% as expected by the markets. 4.1% was the same as the previous month. So this continued run of very strong employment numbers does continue for Australia. So there was around 2,500 jobs lost, but this was more than made up for by participation rate and by other things that have taken place. You can see here really the unemployment rate really got down to lows of 3.5% back in December 22, so 18 months ago or so, and gradually it has crept up, but this is broadly much better than anybody anticipated. The Treasurer spoke about this yesterday when he was talking about what he wants to come next for Australia's economy, including quite clearly trying to make the budget more sustainable. The other aspect of this is he really did say that with wages going forward faster than inflation right now, that many of these people who are employed really are finding themselves in a better situation than what they had previously been in. But he didn't really underscore the stress in many ways that inflation has caused on those households. So this is good news, because really if you find a situation where the economy is struggling, and it is struggling to grow right now, in most cases unemployment rises and rises very quickly. But right now that is not the case for the Australian economy.
Ross, can you spot any key features in the numbers?
Yeah, just having a quick look through this. So just going through this, employment dropped by 2,000 people. So it's up by 2.3% compared with May. So it's stronger than the pre-pandemic, the employment market right now. The other thing also is the really good news is that participation rate I spoke about. You've got near record numbers of women in the workforce right now, which is good because it means really you've got your skills really very much enhanced in our economy. And the other thing also is that you've seen perhaps a little bit of hours worked is increasing. Now, we know this is where a lot of families are taking pressure off themselves by either having more than one job, and there are record numbers of people who have now got at least two jobs, maybe something on the side as a part-time job to make ends meet. And indeed, there are more families than we've ever had before in Australia where there's two incomes coming through. So in many cases, that's both partners working. So these are the keys for the employment numbers right now. But the reality is that what you actually want is more productivity coming, which is the reason why the Prime Minister and the Treasurer have got this big round table coming on how to improve productivity, because that in the long term is how you not only create more jobs, but also higher paying jobs into the future as well.
For a lot of viewers, certainly those mortgage holders, wondering what does the RBA make of it? How does it feed into their next meeting just under 3 weeks from now?
Well, I'm going to show you this. So this is interesting. So pretty much it's suggested that there's a 67% chance, this is before this employment number just dropped a couple of minutes ago, we took a number which said that the money market suggests that rates being cut in July, it's July 8, when the next decision will be just under 3 weeks, that'll be 67.5%. After this number dropped down to 66%. So it's marginal. So therefore the markets are not surprised by what they've seen here, and therefore the odds are still in favour of the Reserve Bank cutting interest rates when they meet in just a little under a month's time.
Have the markets reacted more broadly to the numbers?
Well, I haven't actually looked, but we're going to look together right now, Kieran. So let's have a look at this and see. So this is the one-year bond yield, down a little bit. Not a lot, but down a little bit since that number has actually dropped. Let's have a look at the Australian dollar. That's the other thing we had seen, up a little bit, but not much. It's been stronger in recent times. It had been above 65 US cents. And there's the stock market, up a little bit. It's pretty flat overall. So I would suggest at 4.1%, these numbers were expected by the markets today. There's no shock there, and pretty much according to the money markets, at least anyway, the Reserve Bank is on track to cut interest rates when it next meets in July.